Hello and welcome to a demonstration of the Steel Detailer. In this demonstration I'm going to cover a tutorial which will show you how to utilize TSD or the Steel Detailer for its best benefits. So for us to do that, if you've installed TSD and you've uploaded some libraries, the best thing for you to do is to actually just push the libraries aside and change the database. The steps to do that are covered in the actual manual as well, so if you would like to follow me online and or the manual, you'll end up with the same result. So what we're going to do is we're just going to back up your database. That's the first step. If you have already installed TSD and uploaded models to the library, this is what you have to go through. If you've just freshly installed TSD, please skip this step. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure that you've got SQL Server Management Studio 2005 SP3 installed, and that is downloaded from the Microsoft website. And once you've installed it, you're able to access the Steel Detailer's website in the background. Now, the default location for your server name will be whatever your local instance is. So you really want to connect to that one. Okay. If you expand out the databases, and you can see all the tables that are associated to the Steel Detailer's database, which is pictured at the top. Okay. What we want to do first of all is do a backup. To do a backup, you have to go down to the server objects, right mouse click the backup databases, and we're going to back up a database. Now, I may have done that a little too quick, so what you have to do is back up a database. Select the Steel Detailer's database. If there is already one in place that you have under the directory tree for the destination to save the database, just simply remove it and then add another. And if you select the dots, which will take you to the location, you can create a backup folder within MSQL, which is already there, or alternatively you can place it in the Steel Detailer's file location, which is in C drive. And under the file location under C drive, you can create a new folder and put it in there. Alternatively, you can save it into the main directory as I have. Now, I've already done this backup, so I'm just going to select one that I already have, and that would be that one there. Okay, and it's an old one, so I'm going to replace it. Ensure that you type .back at the end, that way you are going to get the file name extension included. If you don't put the back at the end, it will exclude it, and you'll just end up with a file with no extension, and you'll have to go into File Explorer and add .back to the end of it. And just click OK, and then OK, and then click OK. And if it's successful, it'll tell you, so that's backed up, no problem. Okay. We need to go to the member library, which is this one here, and we need to edit the top 200 rows. Now, I'm using Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio 2008. In 2005, it's similar. It will state open table. If you just select that, it'll give you a list of all the library members. Now, we've backed up the database, so we can actually select that, hold the shift key down and select all the way down the bottom. We're going to delete it. So I hit delete and I click yes. So that cleans out the member library for us to do our tutorial. That's about it for the Server Management Studio, so that's backed up. Next thing for us to do now is to go to your library. To actually find your library, you want to go to your C Windows directory, and then inside the Windows directory there are two files that point to your archives location, which is where your library is kept. Mine is kept in that location. Yours will be similar. If not, the default, which will be C, the Steel Detailer database. And once you find that, best thing for you to do is to just copy that, open up Explorer, which I've already got, and paste it in there, and that's where my library is kept. Now, if there is a member library there, I rename it and make it existing to ensure that you've backed up your old library, so that you're not going to do away with that, because the tutorial itself is just a standalone. So for the first thing you have to do is just make sure that you've got everything that you've already set up, backed up and put aside, because when you run the tutorial installation, it will create new member library it'll put new members in. Next thing for us to do now is to install the country to which you've selected under the tutorials. If you're going to install TSE libraries, you're better off right mouse clicking than running as administrator. That way we'll ensure that the install goes fine. Obviously click next, accept the terms, and then next. Okay, now when you install TSD, it created an instance. Your instance will be the SQL Express instance. In this case I'm using my own, which I've got off to the side. Do not change any of the other settings and just click next, and then we're ready to install. This will install the library into SQL, and it will also install the archives into the archive area for the member library for you to do your tutorial. Okay, click finish at the end. So now we're ready to open SolidWorks up.